Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Shannon, and today we are going to be doing a speed build of the villa that I'm using for my Lovestruck Island series. I actually built this during early access of the Lovestruck expansion pack, so thank you to the EA Creator Network for early access to the pack. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this build because I've been using it in my Lovestruck Island Let's Play that I've been doing. I've been posting episodes of that every couple of days here on YouTube, and I am a little bit behind in getting the speed build up, but I am just one person trying to do it all, so it's just going to have to be good enough, better late than never. I actually originally built this live on both TikTok and Twitch. I definitely recommend following me over there because pretty much everything that I do on live first, and then it makes its way over to YouTube after the fact. So if you want to be a part of a lot of live decisions and all the chaos that comes with that, I definitely recommend dropping a follow. It was actually some of you guys watching on TikTok who came up with the idea for the shape of the house, which as you were going to see in a couple minutes, it is actually a really cool shape. We started off with that like heart-shaped pool, and then everything just kind of expanded from there, and it ends up being a whole stack of hearts, and it is not something that I ever would have thought to do on my own, but I absolutely love how this house came out. It is definitely one of my favorites that I've done in a really long time. I did get a lot of questions about how I did the heart-shaped pool and even the heart-shaped rooms, so if you had missed it, right before the Lovestruck expansion pack came out, we actually got a base game update that allows us to do rounded pools, so now we can do things like heart-shaped pools, but also just traditional oval and circular pools that we have never been able to do before. And actually years ago, we got an update with round walls, which is how we are doing the actual heart-shaped rooms as well. You can kind of see me doing it here in this part of the build. It's basically like 4 rounded room pieces kind of next to each other and then a big square in the middle. I typically don't use round walls in my builds because they tend to be a little bit glitchy. They don't work totally perfectly, and you see a little bit of that in this build as well. I had to be a little gracious with a couple of the things that I was trying to do, but it ended up working out okay. You're going to see a little bit of me kind of messing with the floor plan and stuff like that, but honestly, I kept a lot of the floor planning out of it because I spent such a long time trying to figure out how to make rooms fit in all of these round walls and everything, and there were some places where you could kind of put a wall, but you also kind of couldn't put a wall, and it would glitch on you. And oh my goodness, the stairs were a nightmare. I actually ended up putting a ladder in one area where I just could not be bothered to put a stair. It just wasn't going to happen. But overall, I think it does end up being worth it because it is such a fun house for the Let's Play that we are doing. And to kind of get into that a little bit, I actually will leave a link below where you can read the official description of the Lovestruck Island Challenge, but the challenge is actually something that I came up with and wrote out myself as a way to explore the new Lovestruck expansion pack, and it's kind of a little bit of a play on like a Love Island, but I think it has elements of a lot of different reality TV shows. It's giving a little Love Island, a little Big Brother, while also just having some elements that just make it unique and make it its own thing. But the overall premise of Lovestruck Island is basically supposed to be a little like dating reality TV show for your Sims where these 8 single Sims have come to the villa to try to find love. And throughout 8 weeks of the challenge, not only are they doing different challenges to win opportunities for dates and nights in the private hideaway, but they are also getting eliminated as the challenge goes on, and even more Sims are joining the villa. So there's a lot of Sims coming in and out, but we've been having a lot of fun with it. As of the time that I'm posting this, we are actually on the end of week 4 of the challenge, and so you can watch all of the episodes of everything that we have done so far. I'll make sure that the playlist is linked in this video as well if you want to catch up on that, but we have been having a ton of fun. We've had a bunch of couples coming in and out and so much drama with these Sims. One thing I noticed right away when we had started was that with this new Lovestruck pack, Sims are getting attracted and unattracted to everybody. I mean, when we initially started, it was like within seconds, all of these Sims were finding out that they were attracted to each other based on each other's traits, because part of the new Lovestruck expansion pack is your Sims being able to have turn-ons and turn-offs. So gone are the days of your Sims being able to just fall in love and marry anybody at the drop of a hat. Now your Sims actually care about the other Sims' personality, and other Sims may turn your Sim down and realize that they are just not all that attracted to them either. So it adds so much drama, so many new layers to the game, and we have been having a ton of fun with it. I'm going to try not to give you guys too many spoilers to my specific series in case you do want to go ahead and watch it on your own, but some of my favorite parts of the challenge have been when certain Sims are already coupled up for the week, and so at that point they are stuck with their partner for the entire week, and then all of a sudden other Sims are falling in love with each other and they wish that they could switch partners, and they have to hope that they make it through the week so that they are able to switch partners the next week. The drama has just been so good. I have been loving it. The only issue that I have noticed so far with this new pack, and you guys can actually let me know if you've been having the same problem, is that I do feel like some of my couples' romantic relationships have been going down way faster than I expected them to. I do know that it is influenced by a lot of these new systems like romantic satisfaction and all of that, but I will say that I've had some couples who even are already dating, like boyfriend and girlfriend dating, who have full pink bars, and within days it is dropping down just because I haven't been paying super attention to them. I will say I did go and test this out with a married couple who I already had before the pack came out. I didn't notice an issue with them. I was able to go a full week without doing anything between them, and they still were able to maintain a really high romance bar. But I will say in this specific gameplay, I've noticed a lot of issues with it. So I'm not sure if that is like a pack specific thing or if this is just a couple that's really not that compatible. Let me know in the comments if you guys have also been having that issue or not, though, because if that is happening regularly with newly dating couples, I could definitely see that being kind of an issue in gameplay. So the jury is still kind of out on that for me. I don't think I've had enough chance to truly explore it as much as I would like to. I definitely am going to be keeping an eye on it with families that I play in the future, though. And like I said, let me know if you guys are having that same issue or not. But getting back into the build, you've pretty much seen me decorate a lot of the exterior. I'm kind of just getting into a little bit of landscaping right now, but I wanted to include a lot of outdoor activities for The Sims. Obviously, we have that huge big pool that I just feel like is a staple of any reality dating TV show kind of thing. Lots of opportunities for Sims to just be lounging around in their bikinis, but I wanted to include a couple other things for them to do outside as well. We do have that outdoor gym area, and of course we included a little outdoor shower because that is just iconic. We also do end up including a couple of the little blanket towel things that come with the new Lovestruck pack. They actually are a new Woohoo location, and spoilers, that Woohoo location is spicy. I guess I can't really spoil it for you without you going to see it, but I mean, my jaw was on the floor watching my Sims woohoo on that blanket for the first time. If you are getting the expansion pack, just be aware, you know, maybe close your eyes, give them some privacy when they are in that blanket because it is spicy. It's actually not the only new Woohoo location either. We also do have a utility closet that I did include in the house as well, and I actually have had my Sims Woohoo in there also. Lots of woohoo and romance and steamy spiciness in this new expansion pack, but I love it. I think this is definitely one of the saucier packs we've gotten in The Sims 4, but I think it is so much fun. But now you're basically just seeing me do some landscaping. And guys, I don't know why whoever made the expansion pack, like landscaping catalog and whatever, please let me know. Why was all of the good landscaping in this pack in debug? I think we officially, like in the regular like landscaping category for this pack, got a tree. And like it's a nice tree, that's fine. But when I tell you, if you go into the debug catalog and filter by Lovestruck Island, the most stunning plants, the most stunning palm trees, the most stunning rocks and flowers, oh, it's just so good. I'm sure there's some sort of technical reason or budget reason or something why those couldn't just be regularly included in like regular build buy stuff. But oh my goodness, such a missed opportunity. So definitely I highly recommend going into debug to go ahead and get some of those plants from the Lovestruck pack. They are so good. And if you don't know how to get into debug, there's actually 2 cheats that you need to put in to get to that like secret layer of items in The Sims 4. So the 2 cheats are bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but you put those 2 cheats in and then you go ahead and search for debug, like literally search the word debug in the build by category, and you are going to unlock an entire new universe full of items in The Sims 4. And there are debug items in nearly every pack in this game, and they're basically just items that weren't initially put in the build by catalog, but that you can access. And these items are things that like your Sims interact with through gameplay that don't actually like stay out in the world. Think things like cutting boards, remote controls, video game controllers, pieces of food, individual cups, plates, things like that. And there's also a whole category of items that are just around the world that your Sims don't really interact with. Things like plants that are around the world, or even like the shells of houses that you see in the world that you can't interact with. All of that stuff is in the debug catalog. And I know there is some reason about like these aren't technically items and your Sims will walk through some of them, but there's a lot of really good stuff in there specifically for landscaping. And debug is also the only place where we can get cars in this game. You know how sometimes there will be like cars just around the world? There's actually a couple of them in Ciudad Enamorada, which is the world that comes with this pack, but there's even some in worlds like Del Sol Valley, and they even drive around in base game worlds like Willow Creek, but we have never been able to actually have them on our Sims lots. Well, that is something that you are able to do in the debug catalog. Of course, they won't be functional, they won't actually move, but it means you can actually like make your Sims a driveway and put a car in there, which adds so much realism. So if you don't already know about debug, you need to get in there. Now, the room that you see me decorating right now is actually going to be our challenge room. So this is where we are going to be doing multiple challenges a week where Sims are going to compete for things like date nights, nights in the Hideaway, and stuff like that. So this room actually changes multiple times a week because I do redecorate it for like the theme of every challenge that we end up doing. So as you can see, I'm currently decorating it as like an outdoorsy kind of picnic kind of vibe, and that is because one of our first challenges was a try not to sleep night under the stars. So that is why it is decorated that way, but you'll actually see when I do the full walkthrough later on in this video, it's actually already been completely changed, and that's because the walkthrough that I'm doing later on is actually from a couple weeks later when I was actually playing with it in game. So you'll see it was already turned into something different. So that room I swap out very, very often. So now we are working on our hideaway, and if you haven't seen Love Island, basically the idea of this hideaway is that it is a private suite for just 2 Sims at a time to have a night alone in, where they can do, you know, just whatever they would like to do in private. But the way that we use this in our Love Struck Island challenge is one of 2 ways. I will either allow Sims into the hideaway by vote, so sometimes I will let everyone watching live on TikTok and Twitch go ahead and vote for who they think should get to have a night in the hideaway. Other times we will have them do a challenge, just like we do challenges multiple times throughout the week for dates. Just the same thing, they compete in some sort of silly little activity, and then the winner and their partner gets to spend the night in the hideaway. And we've already had so many funny moments in this hideaway with couples who both wanted to be in here together and didn't, because now with the Love Struck expansion pack, you cannot force any 2 Sims to fall in love the way they used to be able to. I mean, back in the day, you used to be able to have a Sim meet for the first time and get married that night, but those days are long gone, and now if 2 Sims are not vibing, you are not going to make them vibe, and that was definitely the case with one of our couples who ended up in the hideaway. I don't think they even spoke to each other while they were in there. They kind of just did their own thing, maybe had a little conversation from across the room, but there were no special activities going on that night. So that was really funny to see. But we also have had some couples who very much took advantage of their night in here and even took advantage of some of the fun items that we included as well, like the costume trunk, which is new in the Love Struck pack, and also the iconic vibrating heart bed. I don't think I even need to tell you what they were doing in there. So we're finishing up on the upstairs. We have one big bedroom that just has a bunch of double beds, and as you know, Sims are very picky about who they will share a bed with, especially when they don't really know people. So there are a lot of times, especially in the beginning of this challenge, where these Sims will sleep on the couch or sleep on a bench outside because they simply do not want to share a bed with their partner, but hey, that's their business. I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. So they do only have those beds, and there are no other bedrooms. And then we actually put together this whole like dressing room area that has a bunch of vanities where they can get ready, do their makeup, change whatever they need to do, especially before their dates. It's been really fun to kind of have them get ready for their date and stuff like that. So I thought that was a really cute little addition. We really did want to include a couple fun little features in this house that kind of just remind you that this is for television. This is not just like any regular old family home, which I don't think anyone would mistake it for, but just in case you had, we wanted to have a couple little nods that this is, this is TV, this is all of that good stuff. So I think this room was a really great addition for that. As you can see, they've all got all their different vanities and all their little makeup setups, and I think it is just such a fun little room, and kind of keeping on that same theme of like having areas that are very obviously this house is made for television. We actually have another room downstairs that we are about to work on next that was literally just a like production TV kind of room, and we have it all set up with like a hair and makeup studio and cameras and all of that, and a whole little setup where your Sims could do like confessionals, like the way that if a Sim was on a reality TV show, they would kind of like do those little interviews that are kind of like cut throughout the show. So that is what this room is going to be, and I think it is just like the perfect thing to really show you that this house is like reality TV. It's a Big Brother house. It's a Love Island villa. It is whatever you want to call it, but I think that was a really fun addition. We actually haven't really used it much in gameplay, but it's nice to see it there and just kind of remember like this is TV, people. Speaking of this being TV, if you actually watch the episodes that I've been doing of this series or watch it live, you know that we kind of have a little bit going on about like everything that happens more or less behind the scenes is done by the network. And I think it has been such a fun little bit that we've had going on where like, if a Sim ends up having to leave the show, the network is being kind of hush hush about why they're not there anymore, or if we need to spend money on something or hire a bartender to show up to the park or something like that. All of that is like the network's doing and like the network's money and all of that kind of stuff. I just think it has been hilarious. I'm having so much fun with this series, and I hope that you guys are too. I think it's been a really fun one. Next, we are working on the kitchen, and I actually love the way that this kitchen turned out. This was not initially the layout that I had in mind or the color scheme that I had in mind, but I could not imagine having done anything else. I think it is so perfect. We have 8 bar stools around the island so that they can all kind of like sit and have dinners together. We ended up doing 2 sinks because we just thought it was a little more television. We thought it was a little more, like commercial looking, so I really liked that. And then we also used these backsplash tiles, and these are also new with the Love Struck pack. I really hope they do a lot more of these because they are perfect for, say, maybe you don't want your entire wall in your kitchen to be tile and you just want specific areas to be tiled. They are just so beautiful for that. I would love to see them in so many more patterns. Now we're kind of doing a little sitting area off to the side. It's not exactly like a dining room. I actually think they only ever use this room to like play games and sit and chat. I don't think anyone has ever eaten at this table, but it is a cute little area off to the side, and I absolutely love that cow print wallpaper. We got a bunch of like animal print in the new Love Struck pack, which I never would have thought was something that I needed, but now that I have it, I actually cannot live without it. So now we're just finishing off the villa with some living spaces, or kind of just more like sitting, chilling kind of spaces. We end up doing a really big sectional couch over in this area that I think is so cute, and another really great opportunity for Sims to gather around, play games, and also a lot of them just sleep on this couch because again, they don't want to sleep in the beds with their partners, so they just end up sleeping there, and that's totally fine. That's their business. We also end up doing a bar over by the kitchen area a little bit, and then we do another seating area, and then we actually include a ping pong table at some point, and that is really fun. Let me tell you, Sims love them some ping pong. I feel like there's always items where like if you have it on your lot, your Sims 1000% will be using it, and I feel like some of those for me are coffee makers, basketball courts, and ping pong. These Sims freaking love them some ping pong. It is so funny. We actually also ended up putting a disco ball over the ping pong table just for the vibes, and I think it's been really fun, and it's just such a fun little communal space for them to like do during their downtime when they're not doing specific challenges or going on dates and things like that. Honestly, a lot of my Sims houses do not get these kind of leisure activities like ping pong and darts and stuff like that. And it's not because I don't love them all equally, but I think most of the time I just need my Sims to focus on more functional skills that's going to help them in school and with their jobs and things like that. So it's kind of nice to do a little challenge like this where I'm not worried about their careers. I just want them to have fun and flirt and stuff like that. So definitely a nice change of pace from the way I personally am used to playing the game. But this is beginning to wrap up the build portion of this, and I am going to do a little walkthrough because I know sometimes it's kind of hard to see, like, as I'm building how everything kind of lines up. So I'm actually going to do like a full first person tab mode, whatever you want to call it, walkthrough for you. So this is the villa. As you can see, we have our little outdoor area, we have our pool, we have some lounge chairs for our Sims to tan at, and then we also have our little fire pit conversation area, and this is where all the Sims gather to do eliminations and things like that. Moving into the backyard, we just have some seating areas, some of those blankets like I was telling you guys about, another little peek at a little hidden seating area that we have. I guess it's not really hidden. But then we have our outdoor gym, shower. As you can see, we have a little swing set over there that the Sims will use every once in a while. And then kind of moving back on to the deck area, we do have a little outdoor kitchen and little bar area outside so they can do some grilling. And then moving indoors, this is again that living space, the kitchen, bar, ping pong, of course, and you can kind of see off to the side, like I was mentioning before, that the challenge room has changed a little bit. So in this current setup, it was set up to be a little monologue movie night kind of situation. That one was a lot of fun too. So like I said, make sure to go watch those episodes to be caught up on all that. There's a little peek at that utility closet I was mentioning before. There's really nothing inside of it. It's just a place for Sims to like go and woohoo and stuff like that. Going through this hallway, of course, we have our production / confessionals room, and then we are actually going to go ahead and head up the stairs into the bedroom area. You can see a couple of the Sims sleeping. I did this tour in live mode, so you'll see some people bip-bopping around. Some of the showers are blurred out because people are showering. And then to finish it off, if you go back through the bedroom and walk out onto a little like balcony sitting area, there's just like a little bench where you can sit, and a lot of my Sims sleep on there because again, don't want to sleep with their partners. But through the next door is the Hideaway. This door is normally locked, so the Sims can't just come and go as they please, but I'll unlock it obviously when they earn a night there. And then upstairs there's just that hot tub and their own private bathroom. And that is the entire Lovestruck Island villa. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe. And of course, like I said, I will be linking a playlist to all of the videos for this actual series. With that being said, I hope you have a slaytastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.